I'm back and we're almost done with this field. Let me pop out real quick and show you. Over here we're 50% fertilized and have a 60% yield bonus. But if you come over here, we're 0% fertilized and have a 37% yield bonus. So we're getting additional 23% up to 60 right here for doing the fertilization. I think that will more than pay for the fertilizer that we've used. Let me show you the map here. Missed a couple of little spots, but that's basically because the worker decided to go east and west, and going along the angle, I didn't feel like it was worth going back and spraying just for those couple of little triangles. We are going to spray this last little bit here on the end, like so, and just finish off this field, and then we will drive over to the other field and try to not get lost and just verify that both the harvester's where it was supposed to be and that everything else is looking fine. And then we can spray our other field, and then we'll figure out what to do from there. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this up and make my map bigger. And from here, I think if I go back up this road, it will help me get across the river. So we're going to hop over here. And it looks like we can take this little road here to cut across to the main road. And then we can literally see, well, would be able to see our field is right there across the river. But obviously we have to go over the bridge. So we're going to drive up here. And hopefully both of these will be ready to harvest here in a little bit, or next month. That's the other thing I haven't solved for. I only have $24,000 left, and I do not have a sleep point. So the cheapest house I think is $50,000, and I believe that is just the mobile home, not motor home, mobile home. So we'll solve for that at some point in time, but I might just have to turn the time fast to go to the next day. Looks like we're turning where that car turned as well. And there should be a little road that leads down to our area coming up here. Alright, so we're going to take a left into this. And is this it? Oh, sorry for that tree. That is definitely in the way. Yeah, I'm going to keep this little cut down here. And this is, yeah. Here is our field. And there's our little shed that we built up there on the hill. And there is our harvester that has been delivered down here. So, let's just double check as we expand this. So let's first get the map down to the little size. We'll unfold this. And this is our field 6. Yep. And no fertilization. And 52% yield bonus because it doesn't need lime. Guess if you get out in the middle, it stops unfolding. Good to know. All right, so we'll go ahead and get this one started. Same kind of east and west here, but we're going to have to deal with that curve momentarily. And it's looking pretty good. I'm excited that we're going to be about ready to harvest, and that by simply getting a sprayer, which can help us with our weeds as well as fertilization, we were able to increase the yield significantly, which should more than enough pay for at least the cost of the liquid fertilizer and eventually help pay for the cost of the sprayer itself. So we will see how that works out. Looks like there is a little shed on here too, but we won't mess with that right now. And then we're going to have to loop this around. Hardest thing with these sprayers is trying to find the midpoint when you loop around. Like, is that about halfway? Hard to say, but we're going to give it a shot. That is the one nice thing about spraying with a worker, but this will work out just fine. Now the other interesting thing that I haven't solved for yet is you cannot put green beans in a silo. So you have to either just store them in the tippers themselves or put them into a production plant immediately. Obviously $24,000 left. We don't have enough money to buy a production plant right away, or build one. So we're going to have to see how much the cheapest tipper costs versus how much it can hold. And we will be able to keep some in the harvester itself if we have to, because it's the only crop type we're doing, so it won't matter if it's in there as long as we can get everything off the field. And then we'll also have to just kind of see, in addition to, whoops, oh, we lowered it and it got caught, and that made our line be not great. Let's get back here and straighten out. All right, 270. Okay, that's working a little bit better. We gotta figure out what we're gonna do with all these green beans. I guess I'm gonna just see. I don't know how many we're gonna get off the field, being it's only half fertilized. So that's one issue we need to overcome, and then we will try to decide whether or not we want to do a production plant right away. I think there's a cannery on this map somewhere. In fact, there was another green bean field on the north side that I was going to start with, but it wasn't very flat, and I did a little test map to try to see what would happen if I placed a shed there, and of course it, really messed up the ground and didn't really help what we were trying to do. So alas, we ended up down here, and I think this feels a little bit nicer anyway, so we'll make it work, but it means the cannery is a much longer drive, so win some and lose some. But all right, so see how the edge of that is essentially jagged. We're gonna have to run one strip across the edge to hopefully clear that up. But even if we don't, we should have increased the yield significantly over here. And I think we're going to be really close to making it to the edge here. Not quite. So I think we're going to have to leave this little bit on the end not sprayed, which is fine. Yeah, so it's like 3 feet to the right of the sprayer, and then once the sprayer contacts the edge, we'll start turning. And just trying to follow the contour of the edge. And it's okay if we overlap a little bit. Like so. I don't know that this is necessarily 100% the most efficient way to spray, but it's pretty good. It's getting the job done. Really do kind of wish we had field 7 and then eventually field 9. We might end up selling field 81 to try to buy field 7 in the future at some point. We just are a one crop type farmer at this point. Yeah, that's pretty good. We just missed this little strip right down here and one tiny little strip in the middle, but those aren't worth going back to spray. So we have fertilized both of those. How big is field 7? Let me just look. It is 3.1 hectares. This is 2.16 and 3.76. So yeah, I mean, I guess, well, let's see, we can see the price 129 versus 185. So we didn't have enough money to buy this one anyway, but someday we will. Okay, since we've got these two taken care of, we'll go ahead and park this up. And since we don't have anything else to do today because we're pretty much out of money, let's go to our game settings, and we're going to speed this up significantly while we park everything up, and hopefully that will get us to tomorrow. We're close to. I will catch up with you guys in the next episode, hopefully when we're ready to harvest. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. See you guys in the next one.